Welcome, 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 my dear friends. How are you? It's another day here at the Seductress of Love, the masculine mirror. And today, it's just a beautiful day. I felt this shift this morning. I felt that I was fresh and up, that my body had a lot of energy, but at the same time, I was moving a lot slower. And it's so beautiful to have that peace throughout the day and take the break and come back here and just take a breather. And then next thing you know, I'm sitting here with Mr. Clifton Pope, and I'm so excited. We had an amazing conversation before we started through because it's so beautiful seeing different lens from different people and how did they get into this journey, what brought them there, and what did that little spark of light brought them to this amazing spot. And today, I have the privilege and the honor to interview Mr. Clifton Pope, and he is ISSA certified personal trainer and nutritionist, a transformation specialist, an author, a speaker, a CEO. Let's go for HFWB Incorporated. But ladies and gentlemen, Clifton works at an intersection of health, fitness, wealth, and personal responsibility. I mean, you cannot negotiate these things. There's no negotiation when it comes to this. I mean, this goes for me, for you, and for every one of us. And it's so important to always have that grounding in the non-performance, not only in the ladies, but also in the masculine side. We're all built to have that softness and that powerfulness. So welcome to this space. Let me ask you something, Cliff.
Yes,
Who are you when no one is watching you?
that's a very, very good question. If to answer that question, Blangelica, well, first and foremost, thank you for having me on the Seductress of Love, the podcast. I appreciate everything that you're doing as far as really incorporating, as far as like the masculine and the feminine, and really incorporating like the law of gender, one of the 12 universal laws that a lot of people don't talk about and stuff like that. But the answer to your question, who am I versus, being the personal trainer, nutritionist, the author, podcaster, and speaker that I am, I would say I am just a calm, loving, intelligent, fearless, truth telling, optimistic, and notorious guy. That would be the best way I can describe myself because if it's funny how you asked that question because I decided to kind of like use my name Clifton and kind of put together my own little acronym as far as what describes me the most. And that came whenever I was working with one of my other clients to do the exact same thing. And she was able to do it so quickly and so effectively to where it's like, what do I look like telling her to do it and I'm not doing it myself? So that's kind of what sparked me to where it was like, let me come up with my own acronym that kind of describes me just as an overall man and an overall individual. So I would consider myself calm, cool, and collective, a loving person, because as we were talking about before we started recording, that love is just the most powerful. It's a powerful force within itself. I consider myself to be very intelligent as far as just being able to lean on the wisdom and the understanding that the Most High God provides me on a regular basis. I consider myself fearless because I don't get fooled in the illusion of the false evidence appearing real, which is what I like to say what fear stands for. I'm always going to stand by the truth, always, because I'm a firm believer of I'd rather be freed by the truth versus locked in a world full of lies. I'm also very optimistic because there's always room for improvement. There's always room to kind of grow through what you go through, kind of like how you described with your journey before we started recording and stuff. And I consider myself just notorious, just being able to make a difference and make an impact where it leaves that notorious impression on the person who I'm making an impact with. So that's who I am, Blangelica. I'm calm, loving, intelligent, fearless, a truth teller, very optimistic, but also notorious.
I
Clifton.
love Notorious. I feel that we're gonna go out there and do something fun.
Exactly,
Right?
exactly. Yes,
It's like it's
indeed.
gonna fire up so much and then you just normally when I express that like in my community and I love talking a lot of crap. It's just funny. It's fun to me to say something funny after it. But I tell people and then I just go outside and play, and then I come back home and bake cookies and shit. I tell people,
I love it.
but in reality, I'm not baking any cookies or anything like that. I come home and I do whatever I want, and the desire of having that passion in life is doing, creating. As long as you're having so much fun, what you're doing, it's so beautiful.
Yes. It's like whenever you find something that you love to do and it doesn't feel like you're actually working because you're so driven and inspired and moved by the passion as far as it going back to the conversation of love as far as what you love to do it feels like a magical journey every single day and you just want to continue on and you just don't want that feeling to stop more so than ever.
Oh my gosh, yes, you're so right. You name integrity as a value that you won't compromise, even if it costs you. How does integrity show up for you in relationships?
Integrity shows up for me in relationships from the standpoint of really just staying true to who you are, what you're about, and what you represent at the end of the day, and not just and basically just not faking the funk and just keeping it real at all costs. Because I feel like whenever you're keeping it real and whenever you're honest and straight up and upfront from the jump and from the get-go, I feel like the communication aspect is there because in order for a relationship to work for me, Blangelica, it comes down to communication and it comes down to being open and honest with the communication, not only just with your partner, with yourself first. How are you going to be open and honest with a partner within a relationship if you're not open and honest within yourself? Which kind of goes back to why I'm all about being, standing by the truth, because it's like it's funny how you mention that because I'm a firm believer of, like the chakra systems and everything, the energy systems that we have within our body, because we're all spiritual beings full of energy going through the physical realm within this world that we live in. And I was telling you before we started recording, and I was just wrapping up a meditation. And the meditation I was doing, I was tapping into the throat chakra, which is all about just, seeing and hearing the speaking and hearing the truth, which is all about just letting the truth set you free and being open and honest within your communication. So that's what I feel like the integrity aspect comes when it comes to relationships. Like for those listening to this particular episode, if you're not open and honest with the communication within yourself, how in the hell are you going to be open and honest in communicating with a partner or being in a significant relationship? Because I'm a firm believer, Blangelica, that communication builds relations.
Yes. Yes, and it's beautiful. At first it might feel like maybe you're breaking, the connection is breaking apart. In reality, it is not. It's allowing you to learn. If it's the mirrors towards you, it's allowing you to learn, what is this teaching me? if I'm
Hmm.
feeling if I'm feeling vulnerable at this moment because he said something that I didn't like. I mean, in a relationship, it's a mirror. So what am I learning? If everyone actually did that exercises with mirror, there will be a lot more better relationships in this world. And it's
Hmm.
beautiful to see the challenges as what am I learning from this, and allowing yourself to be more open spoken, like you said. Very, it's communication is the key to be
Yes.
to be the truth telling. That's what saved my relationship. I mean, I left the relationship because of the fact that I expressed the truth. I'm not happy and I'm moving forward, and that's something that is very important. You said also emotional safety looks like allowing yourself to be more vulnerable.
Mhm.
What helped you unlearn the idea that vulnerability makes a man weak?
that's a great question. We as men, I feel like we're always supposed to like be in tune. Like, hey, we're always supposed to keep like that tough love approach at times. And don't get me wrong, tough love it comes in handy at the right moments and right time, but men should not be afraid to like let their emotions come out every now and then, as far as like, no matter how happy they are, no matter how sad they are, no matter how angry they are. It's like if we keep all the emotions bottled up, it's only going to destroy us from within, and it's only going to make us feel worse than we felt originally prior to that. So I feel like, for a man to kind of like, for example, let out some tears and cry every now and then, there's nothing wrong with that at all, because it doesn't make a man weak. I feel like if they were to let out their tears and their emotions and cry, if anything, it makes them a whole lot stronger, because once they let out those tears and let out those feelings and emotions, which is, of course, energy in motion, which is what the universe is comprised of, which is what works within us, then we're becoming, more one with the universe. We're coming more one with the Most High God, and we're becoming one with nature. Because it's like I was talking to one of my other clients about this yesterday, as far as just the importance of like the law of creation and stuff like that. Life requires our participation to happen, Blangelica. You know this very well as I do, because it doesn't happen by itself. And again, like I just mentioned, we're one with the universe inside and out. Whatever surrounds us, Blangelica, it gives us clues to our inner state. And it's like I was telling my client this yesterday. If you are if you're surrounded by chaos, you're dealing with chaos from within. If you're surrounded by peace, then you have peace from within. Therefore, we have the ability to create whatever it is that we want, as far as what environment do you want to be a product of? And I'll even take it a step further, Blangelica. What sacrifices are you willing to make to create the environment that you want to be a product of? You have to be the example. We're always looking for somebody to set the example. Why not be the example and surround yourself with what you want to have in your life, and just simply be yourself? That's how you master the law of creation, which is one of the 12 laws of karma. And that's how you manifest good karma versus bad karma.
Yeah, I love that. Now that's amazing. What happens
Yes.
inside of your nervous system when a woman feels more steady, more present, and she's choosing you instead?
What happens to my nervous system? It allows me to dive into the parasympathetic nervous system, and it allows me to be in that rest and digest state, to where it's like I'm not feeling like, I have to be looking over my shoulders or anything like that, as far as, oh, is she possibly, talking to somebody else? Or, it eliminates all those trust issues, because it goes back to, again, that open and honest communication. When a woman were to if a woman were to tell me like, hey, I love you, I want to be with you, all those kind of things, it gives you like that sense of assurance, and it gives you that sense of confidence within yourself, and knowing that you have that rock and that foundation, being the woman that you're in a relationship with, to hold you down through the best of times and through the worst of times. That's what I feel like that does for me, exactly, especially within the relationship that I was in. And I'll be quite honest with you, Angelica. I mean, unfortunately, I'm not in that relationship anymore, because of how it all worked out, because of us going in different directions like this. It was nothing like too crazy or anything like that. It's just that it's just, we basically just decided, it just that the love and the connection wasn't there, and it would be better off with us being just like friends and stuff like that. So basically, I'm speaking from the experience of being in that relationship for 11 years, that actually ended right before the holidays started last year, which was unfortunate timing, and it was a rough patch that I had to deal with these last couple of months. But I'm glad that I was able to go through that, Angelica, because it allowed me to realize that, hey, no matter how great the relationship is, of course nothing is guaranteed or promised, but at the same time it allowed me to really learn from the experience and be like, okay, if I ever do get into a relationship that long again, I know not to do this, I know not to do that, and it just really feeds into my overall growth as an overall man going forward
And
and
that's
for myself and within.
and you know what? I'm not celebrating the pain, but I'm celebrating you because in reality, anything that left in 2026 is because it cannot be part of you this year. Because this
Right,
year we're
right.
all growing, and it's a beautiful year. It's the horse year. I mean, it won't start
Yes,
until
yes.
February 17th. But I mean, I feel the bliss. We are living in a different reality right at this moment. And in order for us, if we come from that background that we had to heal over and over and over again until we freaking made it, this is the time for us to create impact. And as
Yeah.
entrepreneur, anyone that is not aligned within us and it's around us with us and it's actually like holding you back, if you would have stayed there, imagine what could have happened. So
And I'm glad that you brought that up as far as like the growth and the fire horse and everything, because that's another thing that I was thinking about as well. Because we came out of 2025, of course, it being the year of the snake, and the snake shedding its skin, revealing its true colors, and all that. And it's funny because as the end of the relationship came towards an end 2 days before Thanksgiving, I was just thinking to myself, I guess she decided to shed her skin and kind of reveal her true colors after all. And honestly, and I'm glad that you mentioned the fire horse because this is something that I'm talking to all of my clients about this as far
yeah,
as the idea of growth being non-negotiable in 2026 and beyond that because of the fire horse, because anything that is going on within you and around you is going to get amplified times 10 to the point to where it's like whenever that fire horse does come, you can't afford to be hesitant. You got to make a decision, yes or no. But either way, I kind of explain it like this to my clients all the time, or recently, the last month or so, actually. When that fire horse comes, that fire horse is going to show up like, hey, are you ready for the ride? And if you show any bit of hesitancy, that fire horse is going to stick its head underneath your legs. It's going to prop you up on its back and it's going to take you on the ride regardless. And you better just hold on for dear life. So you might as well just say, yes, I'm ready for what's to come within the year of the fire horse. Let's just get on the horse, make ourselves comfortable, and then just say, giddy up. Let's see what happens in 2026. So that's kind of
let's
been
go.
my
Yeah.
approach right now going forward as we're 14 days into 2026.
Yeah, and I feel the shift. And like I said, the fire horse doesn't start like until February. That means that we are shifting fast. We're moving fast. So, and I
Yes,
love it. I love it. In my community,
I'm
this
all
is
for
why I
it
love.
too.
That's why I love creating communities because I mean, if I that's this is what I always tell everyone around my clients and everyone that does networking events with me because I also do networking events. But if I'm growing, you're growing. We are all growing. This is
Yes.
a collective thing, and it's so contagious when you're doing that. You want to be contagious and of growth because we don't want to leave anyone behind, and we have so much things to do. But then people think it's so hard. No, there's so much that you could do. It could start with discipline, and now it's like I'm not even using discipline in my world. Now it's devotion. I wake up for it. It just flows, and it's beautiful. It's beautiful. Oh, so let's ask you this one. And so let's say, for instance, you say chosen allows you to realize to have value to offer. How does being chosen shift the way you show up as a man?
As you said, how does being chosen as far as within your values shift you as a man?
Mm-hmm.
Hmm. Being
When a woman
chosen.
chooses you, not to chase you, it's a different type of energy. Not that she's trying to get you, but she chooses you, which is a different type of love. How would it feel?
That's go. I mean, using my previous relationship as an example, I would say whenever she chose me at that particular moment in time, she chose me at the right moment and at the right time because when we started our relationship back in 2014, I was literally coming out of a dark place as far as from a rediscovery standpoint and trying to get my life in order and my priorities. And the fact that she chose me while I was still like a little bit of a broken mess, that meant a lot to me because I felt like the Most High God in the universe sent her into my life at that particular moment in time for a reason. And I felt like when she chose me, she kind of saved my life in a way because I always look back at it as far as like, hey, what if she didn't show up at that moment in time? What if she didn't choose me when she did? Because things could have went a whole lot worse. They really, really could have. Because going back to 2014, I was still trying to figure myself out. I was still trying to figure out what I wanted to do within the course of my life. I was basically trying to discover like my own path and my own lane. And this was right when I literally dropped out of a community college here in Corpus Christi, Texas, called Del Mar College, because I was trying to figure out, hey, do I want to be a nurse like my mom? Do I want to be a teacher and a coach like my dad? Those didn't work out. Those weren't aligning with my vision and my mission at the time. So I was like, I figured I'd drop out and I figure out get like regular dead end jobs just so I can try to make some money to where I can get my own place and all of those things. And the fact that she was able to choose me while I was still going through all of that it touches me in a way, and it gave me a sense of purpose as far as like, okay, I don't need to only get myself together for me, I need to get myself together for her, for the sake of our relationship. That way our ship can stay afloat above the cool, calm, collective waters, or even when the waters get choppy like this and stuff like that. So that's kind of like how I felt at the time in 2014 when the relationship started and when she chose me. It gave me a sense of like, the Most High God sending me an angel to help guide me through the experiences that I was going through within the course of my life, and just continuing to utilize that angel being the woman who I was in a relationship with, as far as like for us give just providing like that sense of instruction, guidance, and sense of direction on where I needed to go, where I needed to be, and what I needed to do next.
Oh, I love that. Congratulations. That's a beautiful mirror there because I mean, that's when we do that deep transformation. That
Right.
deep transformation. Yeah, lovely. What's the difference in your experience between providing and proving, especially like in business and relationships?
Mm, good question. The difference between providing and proving. When I look at it from the providing standpoint, to kind of break that down from like a relationship and a business standpoint, providing in a relationship is just making sure that you're able to fulfill your duties and your pay your dues and to fulfill your deeds as far as making the relationship work. And then from a business standpoint, providing is just providing, products and services that can help be in service and support of those who may need it, versus proving, as far as in a relationship standpoint, proving that, that you are worthy of love, that you are worthy of being open to giving and receiving that love. And most importantly, proving to yourself that, hey, I can love myself unconditionally. All I'm simply asking is for you to do the exact same thing. And then proving from a business standpoint, it's kind of like, for me, it's just proving that you have kind of like that your products and your services that you offer, like for instance, with me being a personal trainer and a nutritionist and all those things, it's allowing myself to prove that, hey, I'm able to provide you the same gift of healing that the Most High God empowered me with, to where I can empower you with that same gift of healing and prove to you that with, again, going back to what you were talking about before we started recording, that healthier lifestyle with a holistic approach, proving that you too can master the art of breathing, thinking, movement, nutrition, hydration, and sleep, mastering the masculine and the feminine energies that come within all of those things, to where you can look, feel, move better, have more energy, improve your general health, and at the same time, providing you the opportunity to prove that you can accomplish whatever goals that you set for yourself and whatever results that you're seeking to achieve.
Yeah, that's amazing. So you describe commitment and staying true to the person and task in hand. So what does commitment look like when things are uncomfortable?
That is when your faith and hope and love for the relationship is being tested more so than ever, because every day is not going to be sunshine and rainbows. There's going to be days and moments where it's like you just simply cannot stand the person that you're with and all that stuff. Because, and one thing that sticks out to me is that whenever it's true when they say when you live with someone that you're in a relationship with, you really discover who they truly are, and you're either going to love them a lot more or you're going to hate them a lot more. So it's like there's been moments and times looking back at my previous relationship where things were all fine and dandy. It was all sunshine and rainbows. And then there were times where we just couldn't stand each other and we were clashing like this. But I always like to look at it from my standpoint of just focusing on the good times versus the bad times. Yes, you got to take the good with the bad and the bad with the good. But I'm always from the mindset of, hey, I'm very optimistic. I'm always looking for an opportunity to grow, how we can continue to grow the relationship, improve the relationship, learn from the mistakes that were made within the relationship, and continue to allow the relationship to evolve more so than anything. It just comes down for me, at least, it's just continuing to discover how we can continue to balance out, of course, again, the good and the bad within everything, and just focusing on what allowed that spark to keeping that spark that started the relationship, and just keeping that fire within the relationship going to where it's nice and steady, but the flames aren't getting out of control. But at the same time, the flame doesn't go out. It just comes down to just like balance, understanding, and compassion for me, at least.
Yeah, yeah, and I could see that. I could see that definitely. So for the woman watching us, and I'm so happy that you're watching us in this amazing conversation. For the woman listening, that it's grounded, self-led, and no longer chasing in that energy sense, what kind of man is she naturally calling forward?
Like, what kind of man is she coming forward or like trying to
Yeah,
find? Or
when she's more in self-led, no longer chasing and grounded.
I feel like from that standpoint, when a woman who is self-centered and grounded and is looking for someone to kind of match that energy, it's kind of like, it's kind of tapping into like the masculine energy, as far as like, hey, like it's I feel like a woman is kind of looking, and from that standpoint you described, Blanchelica, is looking for a man that provides like that universal fatherhood type of energy, as far as just having things structured and organized, looking at things from a logical standpoint, and most importantly, just taking charge of the situation, taking control of the situation when absolutely necessary. Again, it's a balance effect, because there's times where a man needs to take control of the relationship, and then there's times where a woman needs to take a control of the relationship. Like when it comes down to, like for example, outdoor activities and getting down and dirty and all those things, that's where the man takes charge. When it comes down to, holding down the household and all those kind of things, that's where the woman takes charge. Now, don't get me wrong, you could alternate between the two, but it's just a matter of just like, again, communicating that,
Yeah.
hey, for example,
Mhm.
hey, you're taught, like, if a woman doesn't feel like, cooking and cleaning and within the house and everything, that's where the man could step in and be like, don't worry, babe, I can take care of this for you. You relax and all those kind of things. And vice versa. If a man is tired and can't handle certain things, then a woman can do the same thing, like, don't worry, babe, I got this. It's just, again, just that open and honest communication with each other and just expressing how we truly feel in that particular moment in time, to where we can work around the situation to where it's beneficial on both sides.
I love that. Thank you so much. Can you tell the audience where they could find you?
The audience can find me primarily on Instagram. They can find me on my Instagram handle at all lowercase, of course, cpope_44. I'm very active on Instagram, very active on Facebook and TikTok as well. They can find me on those three platforms primarily. Instagram at cpope_44. TikTok, that's healthfwealthy.cp on TikTok. And they can find me on Facebook by my name, Clifton Pope, or by my business, Health Fitness Wealth Business. I'm always posting content on there as far as, helping people as far as how they can heal themselves, motivational content. I'm always posting stuff for my podcast, the HFWB podcast series, which is available on Apple and Spotify podcasts for your audience, for those who are listening, want to listen to that. And really quick, Angelica, I do want to let people know that they can also purchase my new book that I just released 2 months ago in November. It's called The Man Who Didn't Give Up. And it's really just all about resilience over resistance, because we all deal with chaos, turmoil, and uncertainty within the course of our lives. So I want that book to serve as like a tool to where they could utilize it, to where they can become the best versions of themselves, and they can stay ready so they don't have to get ready for the quote unquote wilderness that they go through, as far as just the chaos, the difficulties, the challenges, the trials and tribulations, the obstacles to overcome. That's something that I want people to get out of my new book, The Man Who Didn't Give Up, which is available on Amazon right now. They can purchase their copy as well. But other than that, that's where they can find me, and that's pretty much everything that I have going on at the moment. And if anyone in your audience is interested in, online personal training, nutrition, strength and conditioning, and exercise transformation programs, they can reach out to me on all the social media platforms, and I'll offer them a free consultation to where we can map out a customizable plan within the vision that they see for themselves, as far as, again, the goals that they want to set and the results they want to achieve.
Yes, so you heard that right. I don't know what you're waiting for. Just click below. I will put his book at the end, so you guys could just go and find him. It's all about collaboration. It's all about helping
Yes.
everyone being known. I love stories. I love to bring people to your world, and I know for a fact that every conversation someone is relating in their world
Yes.
too. And I love bringing forward information to people that we could serve this world with a movement of rising always to the top of the mountain. And these kings right here, they need to be known. Thank you, Clifton, for
Yes.
bringing your presence, your honesty, your grounded masculine leadership into this amazing space as a doctor of love. I am Blangelica. I am founder of I Am My Biggest Fan. I just sold a store, but I was store owner of the storefront, Blangelica's Boutique, but Blangelica's Boutique is now 100% virtually. And I am the love mastery mentor and the seductress of love. I'm allowing people to fall deeper within your love. It's so beautiful, guys. I mean, I know that people feel it in my energy, but it's just feeling it within your body, your mind and soul, and allowing you to wake up every day knowing that everything is fine. Everything's gonna be okay. No matter how hard it is, that's all we have to do. It's a rewiring, brainwashing, and bodying the fuck out of you because you are so worthy of this, and it's amazing. To everyone, listen. If this conversation steers something within you, trust that it's okay to feel. It's okay to go. It's okay to find someone that could help you. You can either contact me and book a free clarity call. Yeah, I'm pretty sure that Clifton will take you if you need to book further with him. If you want to talk and ask him deeper questions, feel free. This is what
Yes.
we're here for. Thank you so much for being part of us. Thank you so much. It's been a pleasure interviewing you.
No, thank you for having me. And just like as you mentioned, it's better to collaborate and be on top versus compete and be at the bottom. And I just want to encourage all your listeners as far as just, hey, growth is non negotiable in 2026. Never whine, keep on winning, and continue to be the example and shine bright in your own light, and everything will be all right. And I'm sending peace, love, and positive vibrations to your audience, courtesy of the Seductress of Love podcast. Continue to do all the great things that you're doing, Blangelica. I appreciate it always, and I'm just grateful that I had the opportunity to spend a wonderful Wednesday in the middle of January talking to you today.
Thank you. Thank you so much. All right, guys. I'll see you in the next one.